Alright guys, it's Chatterbox Reviews, coming at you guys with a little video discussing some stuff about The Walking Dead, and hopefully going over some theories answering what happened in Alexandria during the 6-year time skip for The Walking Dead Season 9. Alright, so this one will be kind of a relatively short video. Just wanted to go over some theories because this is kind of a big question. We saw this brought up again in last night's episode, which was the mid-season finale, Season 9, Episode 8, which was great, by the way. I have my review on the channel that I put up last night for that, and so, yeah, if you want to see that, you can. But yeah, really great episode last night. Really enjoyed it. But, of course, there's kind of an elephant in the room here that they haven't quite acknowledged yet, right? So they've talked about it a little bit, but we actually haven't learned what happened to Alexandria within this time skip. But at least we know that it's something significant because it definitely is causing some, great effect to Michonne and some of the others at Alexandria. Still, even though now it's been presumably 6 years since said event happened, or at least it's been years, maybe not quite 6. So anyways, this is a question that I think is ultimately going to be answered in the second half of the season. I think on Talking Dead, Robert Kirkman was talking about that, how they are going to go into it in the second half. So hopefully we'll get more explanation, but I just thought we could, give some of our theories on this, and I think I have, kind of a big theory that I think might be true, but again, who knows, right? Like, who knows? There's not really an answer at this point to this question, but I thought it'd be fun to kind of, poke around and see what we could come up with. So, love to hear your thoughts on this question. What happened to Alexandria within this time skip, and what do they keep talking about, right? How big is this really? Is it really that big? And what do you think happened? Of course, I'll go over some of my thoughts here. So, really great stuff here. So, a whole lot of hinting at something big that happened within this time skip, right? And so there's, even episode 6, 7, and now last night's episode, even the mid-season finale, a lot of hinting at this, right? A lot of hinting towards something that happened within this time skip that we don't know about, right? And so obviously we know that it was significant enough because it's really made Michonne and others want to kind of focus on themselves rather than the other communities again. And at first I thought, oh, well, this is just because Rick's gone, right? Rick was kind of the ultimate unifier, wanted to bring all the communities together, even including the Saviors, which after he died, I don't think the survivors even wanted to include the Saviors in it. But anyways, so he's the ultimate unifier and he's gone now. And so I just assumed that is why the communities have separated and not stayed together the way they would if Rick was alive. But it doesn't seem like that. It seems like something else happened to Alexandria within this time skip that pushed them to further believe in this. And also now we know, Kingdom and Hilltop even maybe are trying to encourage them, let's come together again. Let's work as a group with our communities. But Michonne is still hesitant to do so. And she's not the only one from Alexandria, it doesn't look like. I mean, Sadiq is trying to kind of encourage her, but some others there at Alexandria definitely feel the same way. So, we know something happened, and it wasn't just that Rick's gone. Something big did happen. So, 6 years have passed, and these characters really do seem different because of something in particular. And again, like I said, they've been bringing it up, and they've been hinting at it. A really big hint last night's episode. Episode 8, we get Carol, and she says, I know what happened to you, or I know what happened to you guys. Some along the lines of that to Michonne, talking about her and Alexandria and something that they've went through. So, big question, right? Carol says this to Michonne, and it looks right in that scene that it really kind of hits a note for Michonne as well, as you see her face kind of change as well. So something big happened in between this time skip, and Carol definitely knows about it. I think they all know about it, right? And it's just kind of been affecting Alexandria only, though, not necessarily the other communities. So ultimately, it begs the question, right? What the hell happened to Alexandria, and why has it affected badass characters like Michonne and Daryl even to kind of be kind of timid about coming back together as a big community with all their other communities. So what did happen? All right. So first of all, the scars, they definitely play a part in what is happening. So the first time that we saw this scar was on Michonne's back, and it was a scar in the form of an X on her back. Looked pretty brutal at the time, but to me, I was like, okay, she got a scar. I wonder how that happened. But then we saw in episode 7, Stradivarius, that Daryl also had almost exactly the same scar on his back in almost the exact same spot. So they have it looks like an X. I think Daryl had a couple other scars on there too, but it looks like an X scar for a marking on their backs. And something's got to give, right? This has to do with what happened in Alexandria. This scar that both of them have, and I assume that a lot of other people do from Alexandria, has to do something with it, right? I think that's just totally, we got to acknowledge that it has to be, it has to mean something for what happened in Alexandria is these scars. And they wouldn't have shown us that Daryl has the same scars Michonne within that scene. And they definitely drew a lot of attention to it with Daryl's reveal as well. So, couple theories here. So I have 4 theories, or 4 kind of working little things here that I think may be possible. So, first, number 1, and by the way, I'll try to throw up some pictures there of the scars and as I talk about some of this stuff as well. So there you go. Number 1, where is Oceanside and what part do they play in this? So now, through the first 3 episodes of this kind of new Walking Dead after Rick's departure, episode 6 we got Kingdom in Alexandria, episode 7 we got the Hilltop. Where is Oceanside, right? Oceanside's a pretty big part of this, and they definitely are a community of this new world going forward. And they are nowhere to be found. We haven't seen anything about them. We haven't seen any characters from the Oceanside, any of the girls back. We haven't seen Cindy, who was a pretty big presence in the first little bit of season 9 there in the first 5 episodes. We haven't seen them. And that whole storyline with them killing the Saviors, that was a big story. For at least the first, couple 3 episodes there of season 9. And begs the question, where are they, right? Where are they in this season? And I think it really would make sense if they are somehow involved in what happened, and maybe that is why we haven't seen them. So, I mean, you can really go forever talking about what happened with the Oceanside and what part they play in here, but, who knows? I mean, the kind of the reality of it is we don't know until the next half. But crazy stuff, right? Where are they? Did they all die? Like, that's a real possibility, right? Did they all die? Is that why we haven't seen them? Did kind of a civil war happen between Oceanside and Alexandria in between this time skip? Maybe Alexandria, they found out about them killing the Saviors, so they went to fight them, and then it turned really dirty. Somehow Oceanside captured Daryl, Michonne, and a couple others and marked them with X's. So, right, like I think that's totally possible, and the Oceanside girls really showed kind of that vengeful side of themselves in the beginning of season 9, killing the Saviors. And if the Alexandria wasn't okay with that and they fought back, I wouldn't doubt that the Oceanside would fight them back as well. So, crazy stuff there, and I think that may be the most likely one is why haven't we seen the Oceanside yet, and why do these scars exist, and why did, something big happen in Alexandria? I think it's all connected. So, anyways, hopefully, maybe that one will resonate with you, and we'll see in the second half. Number 2 would be that some remaining Saviors before the Sanctuary went down, as we know it did, because Mudd told Carol that before, in episode 6, I believe, right? And so anyway, so maybe it was some remaining Saviors, right? They came back and just kind of luckily got Michonne and Daryl and a couple others hostage, kind of similar to maybe a Merle situation with Glenn and Maggie, right? Just kind of the wrong place at the wrong time, and he takes Glenn and Maggie away, and the survivors actually don't find out till a little bit later. And so maybe that type of thing happened. They were able to take hostage a couple of the leaders, right, Michonne and Daryl, and then, of course, the others had to fight back, and maybe they marked them with the X's. So that's totally possible, and I could definitely see that as a possibility. But I still like the Oceanside one better. I do, because I think that one's just a little bit more plausible with what's happened. Because otherwise, I mean, we've kind of just been told, okay, well, the Saviors are pretty much gone. Right? There's really none of them left, and the Sanctuary has fallen. And it looks like Carol almost killed the last of them with killing Mudd in his group. So, anyways, maybe it was the remaining Saviors. That is possible. And then maybe they got killed, and maybe that's why the Sanctuary then fell, is because the rest of them just died off, and maybe Mudd's group was the only ones left. So, that is another possibility. Number 3, a new group that we never met and may never meet. I mean, this could be a possibility too. Maybe it's just a new group. I mean, similar, maybe they create a new group that's not in the comic books, which we've seen before with the hospital in season 5, right? Not really any group from the comics matching that one at the hospital with the police group there, led by Dawn, and maybe that's what happens, right? Maybe it's a new group, maybe similar to what we saw with the Wolves at the beginning of season 6. Maybe kind of a savage group like that comes in, takes them hostage once again, marks them with that X, right? And then they kind of fight it out, and eventually they win. And we know that they eventually won, right? Because obviously they'd still be hostage, or they'd still be, under control of another group. So obviously they won, and they defeated whoever had them kind of down, right? And so maybe that's what happened. Maybe it's a new group. Maybe we just will never meet them. Maybe we'll just hear a story about it, and that will be it. But I don't know. That's also a possibility. And the last one is Whisperers, but I think this is highly unlikely because they just kind of met the Whisperers. So I really don't see how the Whisperers could be involved in this, but I thought it'd be worth mentioning because now we have gotten introduced to them, and they are prevalent now in Season 9. But I don't think they really have impacted the story yet until right now. And so I don't think that the Whisperers could be involved in what happened to Alexandria, but I think it's worth mentioning just because they're kind of the new villain group now, and we've seen this before with the Saviors and the episode 6, season 6, episode 12, Not Tomorrow Yet, with that episode, and that was really early Saviors, right? And we didn't even know the whole grand scheme of what the Saviors were, and maybe it could be similar to that, where they didn't really know what the Whisperers were, and maybe they just, this other group came in, similar to the Whisperers, or something like that, right? I'm just kind of spitballing here, but I think that's highly unlikely, but may as well mention it. So, anyways, it could be a combination or just one of these, right? I mean, it could be, a couple of Saviors working together with a new group or something like that. Or maybe the Saviors form another different group that does this, and that could be possible too. So either way, it looks like these characters have definitely been affected by something, and hopefully we'll find out more about it in the second half of Season 9. So anyways, those are all my thoughts on it, my predictions. I think the Oceanside one is the most likely. We haven't seen the Oceanside yet in Season 9. We haven't seen any of the characters from there, and I don't think that's an accident. I think they definitely have something to do with what happened, and doesn't mean that they all got wiped out. Is Cindy dead as well? Who knows? And hopefully we'll find out in the second half, coming February 10th on AMC, of course. So anyways, really hyped up with The Walking Dead. Might do a couple other videos in the coming week, breaking down some things, giving theories to stuff, maybe about the Whisperers. So anyways, if you like the video, of course, leave a like, consider subscribing to the channel. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this one. Thank you so much for the support on the channel. Really do appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to The Walking Dead Season 9, second half. Amazing mid-season finale last night. And I'm really looking forward. And hopefully we'll get the answer to what happened in Alexandria during the time skip. Alright, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Hey, darling, sleeping on the blacktop. Hey, darling, running through the trees, honey. Hey, darling, leaving for the next town. Let's my set sketches up with me.